Let's talk about isolation. You know, anyone going into this country, showed you earlier Julia Gillard, when she gets back here, 14 days in isolation. Others are going to have to do the same. I'm joined now by Dr. Tanveer Ahmed. Good to see you again, Tanveer. Tell us about the psychological challenge of people, especially those who don't have family support, I suppose.
So it's a huge challenge, Chris. One thing about pandemics, when you look at them historically, they often threaten social cohesion in a number of ways. And we saw the bushfires, floods, we all came together. Pandemics historically don't necessarily do that because we fear each other, we often distance ourselves from each other, and we've already seen it in some of the supermarket behaviour. Now, we get more primitive. Now, that flows onto actually some of the quarantining, etc., that we have to undertake. Now, one of the issues you alluded to, before I get to quarantining, you alluded to the information. When we look at past disasters, be it tsunamis, floods, often before any sort of formal mental health stuff, people really need adequate practical supplies, practical help. And we're trying to inform that, be it payments, be it food, etc. So that's a critical element. You also alluded to clear information. It's quite normal to be uneasy now. Yeah. It's appropriate to be uneasy.
Sure, you should.
But panic will actually give you poor decision-making and you'll make bad decisions that will threaten cohesion. So we need more coherent, consistent information, as you're alluding to. Back to the quarantining. One of the best studies done by this is during SARS. They actually looked at people in Toronto, in Canada, and looked at them over, I think it was over a month, where they were in quarantine. The critical thing is we're trying to maintain healthy routines as much as possible, much like their previous lives. We're basically routine creatures, Chris. We really are. And that's one of the most critical things, because work provides us this structure. And to what extent we can do that, be it people doing school or work, they need to do that. So I have the breaks at similar times I did work. Don't overbreak, because what often people do is end up eating more, they comfort eat more, they end up snacking more. Obviously, where possible, we need to go outside, get light. We're going to be stuck inside so much.
This is important, of course, with your medical background as well. Just because you're in isolation or you're keeping social distance doesn't mean stay at home. You can go out and have a walk around the park, get your exercise, get your fresh air.
And you need to structure it more, because whereas previously it's automatic, now it can't be quite as automatic, and it may even get more stricter than that. Now, what you're alluding to, I guess a key difference to SARS is now is social media. The fact is, this may be social media's positive reckoning. You know, there's been a lot of negatives, be it around the election. You were just talking about misinformation. This may be one of the most creative, our chances to really innovate with social media to build connection. Because, pandemics really...
Well, the way we were just able to talk to Senator Andrew Bragg while he's in isolation.
Absolutely. Look, pandemics, because they force a reckoning with mortality and death, they shine a light on humanity more than almost any other things, the good and the bad. So this is a big opportunity. It will reshape our relationships in all manner of ways, be it business, our physical world, morality. So it's a big opportunity as well.
It's a big topic. We are out of time. Let's get you back next week to talk about some more of this.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks very much.